Assalamu alaikum. Today we will cover a new topic which is venous drainage of the lower limb. There are two types of veins in the lower limb. One are superficial veins and one are deep veins. The superficial veins are present in the superficial fascia and they run independent from the named arteries. They do not have any relation with the arteries, but the deep veins are deep to the deep fascia and they accompany all major arteries. Superficial and deep veins have valves, but they are more numerous in the deep veins. First of all, we will discuss the superficial veins of the lower limb. You can see in the diagram there are two types of superficial veins. One is great saphenous vein and one is small saphenous vein. See here, this is great saphenous vein and this one is small saphenous vein, which is shown on the posterior surface. First of all, we will see that what is great saphenous vein. See here in the diagram, great saphenous vein is formed by the union of the dorsal vein of the great toe. Here in the great toe, there is one vein present which is named as dorsal vein of the great toe, and it will unite with the dorsal venous arch of the foot to form the great saphenous vein. The great saphenous vein ascends anterior to the medial malleolus of the tibia. See here, this is the location where the medial malleolus of tibia is present. So it will pass anterior to the medial malleolus. This anterior is very important because it will be asked you in MCQs. Then the great saphenous vein will ascend upward and it passes posterior to the medial condyle of the femur. See here, this posterior is again very important. This is posterior to the medial condyle of the femur and this is about 1 hand breadth lateral to the medial border of the patella, okay, or 1 hand breadth posterior to the medial border of the patella. This great saphenous vein will anastomose with the small saphenous vein. It will traverse to in the saphenous opening which is present in the fascia lata. I hope you remember the fascia lata. It is the deep fascia of the thigh and there is one opening in the fascia lata which is called as saphenous opening. This great saphenous vein will enter the saphenous opening and it will empty in the femoral vein. This is very important. So remember this great saphenous vein. The great saphenous vein has 10 to 12 valves which are more numerous in the leg than in the thigh. These valves are usually located just inferior to the perforating veins. The perforating veins also have valves. What are perforating veins? Perforating veins are the veins which are connecting the superficial veins to the deep veins. What are venous valves? Venous valves are flaps of the endothelium with cup-like valvular sinuses that fill from above. When they are full, the valve cusp occlude the lumen of the vein, thereby preventing the reflux of the blood distally, making flow unidirectional. That's why we can understand that when we are standing, why the blood is not going towards our feet, because there are venous valves which are present in the veins, which are preventing the bidirectional flow of the blood, so that when the blood will ascend in the superficial veins or they will drain from superficial to the deep veins, they will not come again into the superficial vein and they will not pass or they will not travel with respect to the gravity. So the valvular mechanism also breaks the column of the blood in the saphenous vein into shorter segments, reducing the back pressure. These both effects make it easier for the musculovenous pump to overcome the force of gravity to return the blood to the heart. Now, these are the tributaries of great saphenous vein, that is those veins which are entering in the great saphenous vein. What are these tributaries? These are anterior and the lateral cutaneous veins. See here, this is anterior lateral tributary. Then there is superficial circumflex iliac vein. Then there is superficial epigastric vein. Then there is external pudendal vein. All these veins, they will enter the great saphenous vein. Now we will discuss the small saphenous vein. The small saphenous vein arises on the lateral side of the foot. Remember this thing, that it is present on the lateral side of the foot, whereas the great saphenous vein was present on the medial side of the foot. So this small saphenous vein is formed by the union of the dorsal vein of the little toe, because the little toe is present on the lateral side, and it will unite with the dorsal venous arch of the foot. The small saphenous vein ascends posterior to the lateral malleolus. See here, this is opposite to the medial malleolus. There is lateral malleolus of the fibula which is present, and the small saphenous vein will pass posterior, not the anterior, to the lateral malleolus as a continuation of the lateral marginal vein. See here, it is passing above and it is ascending above as a continuation of the lateral marginal vein. It will pass along the lateral border of the calcaneal tendon. There is tendocalcaneum which is present here at the back of the foot. So this small saphenous vein is passing along the lateral border of the tendocalcaneus, inclines to the midline of the fibula, and it will penetrate the deep fascia. It will ascend between the two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. Remember this thing, we have a muscle which is gastrocnemius. There is the medial and the lateral bellies of the gastrocnemius muscle. So the small saphenous vein will pass through the two heads of the gastrocnemius, and it will enter or empties in the popliteal vein which is present in the popliteal fossa. Remember this thing, this is small saphenous vein. Now there are several perforating veins which are penetrating the deep fascia close to their origin from the superficial veins, and they contain the valves that allow the blood to flow only from the superficial vein to the deep vein. The perforating veins pass through the deep fascia at an oblique angle, so that when muscles contract, the pressure increases inside the deep fascia and the perforating veins are compressed. Compression of these veins also prevent blood from flowing from the deep to the superficial veins back. This pattern of venous blood flow from superficial to deep vein is very important for the proper venous return from the lower limb, because it enables the muscular contraction to propel the blood toward the heart against gravity. Okay, so blood will not pass back from deep veins into the superficial veins. Okay, once the blood has passed from the superficial to the deep veins, it will pass towards the heart. It will not come back toward the lower limb. These were the superficial veins. Now we will discuss some of the deep veins of the lower limb. Deep veins accompany all the major arteries and their branches. They are present deep to the deep fascia. Instead of occurring as a single vein in the limbs, the accompanying veins usually occur as a paired, frequently interconnecting veins that flank the artery they accompany. They are contained within a vascular sheath with the artery, whose pulsation also help compress and move blood in the veins. See here in this diagram, there are many deep veins in our leg. Although the dorsal venous arch drain primarily via the saphenous vein, perforating veins penetrate the deep fascia, forming and continually supplying an anterior tibial vein in the anterior leg. I will revise again. First of all, we have discussed the superficial veins which are connected to the deep veins. Okay. So, how they were connected? By the perforating veins. So, now what happened? The perforating veins has come and they have entered and they have formed the anterior tibial vein. So, the blood will come from the superficial vein into the anterior tibial vein, and then there are two veins. See here, there will be two veins which are called as medial and lateral plantar veins. These are present on the medial and the lateral plantar aspect of the foot, and they will form the posterior tibial and fibular vein. See here, this is posterior tibial vein and there is fibular vein on the lateral side. So these posterior tibial and fibular veins, they are formed by the medial plantar and the lateral plantar veins respectively. They are posterior to the medial malleolus and the lateral malleolus respectively. All these three veins, what are the three veins? Anterior tibial vein, posterior tibial vein and the fibular vein. They are three veins. They will drain they will take all the three veins, they form from the leg, flow into the popliteal vein. See here in the diagram, they will flow in the popliteal vein, which is posterior to the knee, which becomes the femoral vein in the thigh. Okay, there are some veins which are called as profunda femoris vein, which is also called as the deep vein of the thigh. Okay, which are accompanying the perforating arteries of the profunda femoris vein. They will drain the deep muscles and they join the terminal portion of the femoral vein. The femoral vein ultimately drain into the external iliac vein. Okay, it passes deep to the inguinal ligament and it becomes the external iliac vein. I will revise again. See here, there we have discussed two types of the superficial vein. One was great saphenous and one was small saphenous. Those superficial veins drain the blood from superficial into the deep veins through perforating veins. What are deep veins? Deep veins are those veins which are present deep to the deep fascia accompanying the arteries. So first deep vein is the anterior tibial vein, okay, present on the anterior aspect of the leg. Then there were two veins, one is medial plantar and one is lateral plantar, present on the plantar aspect of the foot. They form the posterior tibial and the fibular vein, which are posterior to the medial malleolus and posterior to the lateral malleolus respectively. These three veins, which are anterior tibial, posterior tibial and the fibular vein, they will drain in the popliteal vein. Popliteal vein will drain in the femoral vein. At its termination, profunda femoris vein, which is also called as the deep vein of the thigh, also enter into the femoral vein. Femoral vein pass deep to the inguinal ligament and it will form, or it is the continuation of the external iliac vein, or it will drain in the external iliac vein. I will show you some more diagrams. See here, these are the digital veins which are forming the dorsal venous arch. Okay, so these are the continuation. There will be continuation from the perforating veins, from the superficial veins. They will form the anterior tibial vein. Then there are two veins which are fibular and the posterior tibial veins. These three veins, they will drain in the popliteal vein, then they will drain in the femoral vein. Some of the deep veins of the thigh also enter the femoral, and then the femoral vein will become the external iliac vein. Again, the same diagram which we have to learn. Here also you can understand the peroneal. Peroneal is also called as the fibular vein. This is posterior tibial, this is anterior tibial. They are draining in the popliteal vein, and the popliteal vein will drain in the femoral vein, and the deep femoral vein, which is also called as the profunda vein, it will enter the femoral, and the femoral vein will empty, or it will continue as the external iliac vein.